When you don't need it, you'll get it. So, how you raise, so while we are the money subject, let me give you one piece of advice, okay? Regardless of how much money you raise, VC money, they'll make you burn in 12 months. Whether it is 190 million or it is 5 million. VC is not giving you money to keep in the bank and generate the interest. The reason me as a VC giving you the money is I want you to use that money to multiply. You are not to put in the bank. It's not like I raised $5 million now 3 years, I don't need anything. I don't want to invest in you. No VC, no smart VC will give you money that you can put this thing for 3 years. Zero. And money raising is much more difficult. Whether you raise 50,000 or you raise 5 million, amount of effort is the same. It will take you 6 months to 9 months from the day you start to the day you close. You raise 50,000, 100,000 or you raise 5 million. Take the same amount, same energy. So it distracts the company, it distracts the management, it distracts the people who are supposed to be developing products or signing up the customers or doing whatever. So never take it lightly. It takes a lot of effort to raise the money at any stage. Barring, I told you about Amber Network, but that was an exception. You can't build companies on exception. So it is a lot of energy that it will take you. So you have to plan for that energy, you have to plan for that time that you are going to spend beyond your real work. So it is important to raise enough so that you are not constantly raising. But don't worry about it. You will not raise enough that you will last 3 years. And if somebody has given you that kind of money, they are inexperienced investors. I'm just giving you my opinion. 12 to 16 months is where it lasts. Because the cycles I told you, that's where those cycles are. Concept to validation, validation to prototype, prototype to first customer, to multiple customers. They are roughly 9 months to 12 month cycles. And that's when your risk factors change. A high risk company, you become a little low risk company, you become a low risk company in terms of the money. And the valuations go accordingly. So people who invest at a very high risk company get a much higher multiple returns on the money. People who invest at a low risk company, when you already have customers and you are making revenue and making profits, they get 2x. They may not get like 9% from the bank, but they'll get 2x. And they're happy. Okay, the risk is low.
Great, Prakash. What I'm going to do now is to have people converse with you directly. So, questions, please. Yeah. I would there. I'll not forget your hands. If I do, raise it again.
Hello, sir. This is Ram here. It is something to do with product, like whatever. Like when, say for example, a company designing a product, whether it should concentrate on the people who are using it, who are using that product, we should, no matter what, we should listen to them, or we should design a product in such a way that whatever suits that market, whatever suits that best.
Okay. So your question is, do you do a custom product development or do you do a product that multiple customers can use? That's the question, if I understand correctly?
No, sir. Whether we should use a Steve Jobs approach or a Microsoft approach.
I think in some respect, what you are doing is you are seeing the game being, whether it's a Steve Jobs or whatever, your game being played, after it is played, and you do the analysis. The answer is different. Okay. The Steve Jobs focus is a consumer market focus. Okay, the consumer market, so the market segment that Steve Jobs is doing is a consumer market segment. Consumer market segment is a consumer brand. So it's a brand awareness. So what Steve Jobs has managed to create is a brand awareness. Right? There is a concept called, there is a company that sells chicken in US. It's called Purdue Chicken. Purdue Chicken is $3 a pound. Regular chicken, some grocery store is $2 a pound. It's a designer's chicken. So they have managed to create a brand so that people go after that brand, right? So what Apple did is what you have not seen is Apple's failures. You know, you don't know there is an Apple developed a product called Newton. I don't know if how many of you know. Apple tried 2, 3, 4 different products before it came up with the success that you saw with respect to the iPhone, with the iPod, right? So, if you are developing a product company and your concept is to go to develop a product company, what you need to understand is you need to understand four things. You need to understand is the market large enough? Is the opportunity large enough? Is the market confused? Is your idea differentiating an idea? And do you have few good people, team, in that concept? Those are the 4 principles that you evaluate. Okay. In a consumer application, it is completely different things that you would do versus the enterprise application. I'll give you an example. A consumer application, you can never develop a 90% product and go in the market and say, well, the market finish it. Never will never work. Consumers will never buy. In an enterprise product, you can do 90% and a corporate customer will help you perfect the product. So you need to understand what segment, where you are developing this product and what you are doing, right? So both examples that you talked about, whether it's Microsoft or Apple, they are targeting more towards the consumer product, the incomplete product. You know, look at what happened with one of the Microsoft systems before the Windows 7. It was an incomplete product and it was a disaster. So what is crucial is you need to understand what segment you are going after first. If you are going after consumer segment, you will have to create, and what you don't see is what Steve Jobs did in terms of secret validations, you know, user groups. None of that you are aware of in the very beginning what they did. When the momentum started, you know, then it was a different story. Don't look at Apple today. Look at when he started, when he had first launched. Look at Next. Look at what he did with Next. It was a disaster. Right? So the segment that you need to look at is whatever segment you are at, you need to kind of focus what is applicable to that segment and then go follow. So if you are going to do a corporate like product or the enterprise like product, then you should always have a corporate partner with you. So whether it could be a Tata, whether it could be whosoever, they'll partner with you that you are doing a 50%, 60% development, they participate with you and they help you perfect the product, they get the early advantage or whatever they get, and then you get the product and you sell it to their competitors or other people. Because that's how typically most of the enterprise level products work. You pick any enterprise product, that's how it has worked. Whether it's Cisco or Sun or Intel or somebody has adopted that and they kind of help you perfect it. Classical example are all EDA products are like that. Synthesis engines, whether it's place and route engines, whatever these companies you hear, they all have developed 70-80% and then you can find a partner and they can help you perfect it. Consumer product on the other hand has to be completely perfect when you go in. And I don't recommend you should think of consumer products.
So my name is Swapnil Kale. I was in Silicon Valley from 2007 to 2010, and I read the book Becoming Microsoft by Hard Drive, and you've been an ex-employee of DEC. What is it that we can learn from DEC where it exactly didn't really last for a very long time like the other companies? What are the mistakes that they made? Probably I think that must have happened when you must have exited and joined other companies. What should I have done right that we could learn so we don't make those mistakes when we have to actually go back?
Tech was there for a very long time.
Yeah, but here is the thing. Sometimes you do things correctly, sometimes you don't. Okay, what happens is your success becomes your failure. I'll tell you. So I'll give you an example. Forget about that. Some of you may not remember. Some of you, very few of you will remember. There were companies that produce vacuum tubes that you use in TVs. You remember, or radios. Anybody remember the names? Westinghouse, big name, right? Big name. It was one of the largest GE, one of the big vacuum tube producer.